Hello everyone, welcome to the Space Road podcast. This is the first episode I'm doing about Bitcoin. I plan to do many more episodes in the future covering individual topics in the crypto ecosystem with different people. Today we have Mr. Bhushan Sonawane with us. Bhushan has been active in the crypto space for almost a decade. He has worked with traditional financial products and technologies with exposure to asset servicing businesses, different types of securities, and custody businesses. Bhushan has extensive experience of implementing both public as well as private blockchain projects. And today he does blockchain strategy consulting and he educates people on the crypto ecosystem, right from investing into cryptocurrencies to understanding different trends like decentralized finance and NFTs. The objective of doing this episode is to help you understand the basics of Bitcoin and some core concepts. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, Bhushan. Welcome to the Space Road podcast. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Um, so, before we get into talking about Bitcoin and all different aspects related to it, let us first try to understand a little bit about your background and how you got involved with Bitcoin.
Okay. So before jumping to the Bitcoin space, let me tell you my journey about this capital market kind of thing. So I initially worked into the legacy system that was basically the equity, fixed income security, money market kind of thing. I was part of the OTC or the counter deals over there. And that point of time, I came to know that how different intermediaries are placed between party A and party B, that is buyer and seller. So there are a lot of things in between buyer and seller. Not only just the bank, but the exchanges, the service providers, brokers, you may say, depositories kind of thing, and the custody. So all these parties are between buyer and seller, and everyone plays the crucial role over there. So that's why if you can see the settlement time about for the legacy systems, whether it's you take about the equities kind of thing, it at least T plus one or T plus two kind of thing. Why? Because these intermediaries play very important role in between for the settlement kind of thing. So got the good exposure about that. Was been part of the custody business where the safekeeping is very important. Then there is an asset servicing kind of stuff, the corporate action and kind of things happen. And that point of time, I read about one article in the New York Times that how one lady tried to survive on the Bitcoin. So that's I'm talking about during 2012. So
Okay.
it's just a fascinating that she barely survived for 2 days just using the Bitcoin. She tried to purchase her food, her travel, transportation, and all this kind of stuff over there. And if you can just fast forward now into 2021 kind of thing. So today you can almost buy everything with the Bitcoin or kind of prime cryptocurrencies. So
Yes.
yeah, it was a fascinating journey over there. So once you get hooked into this crypto space or Bitcoin kind of stuff over there, so it's just a rabbit hole. So you try to explore a lot, and I'm a voracious reader over there. So I read a lot, right from spirituality to the latest technologies kind of stuff, and I found it out that everything is get uh, piece, every piece is got together, and I come to know that what Bitcoin exactly is, what is the sound money principles are, how the fiat money works, and what are the advantages of sound money over the government fiat money kind of thing. So and slowly then you explore the other kind of stuffs in the crypto space. So and then uh, after the Bitcoin, Ethereum was got launched. So Ethereum was basically, you can say, it was for the decentralized applications. Okay,
Mhm.
so a lot of developments which was possible on the Ethereum kind of stuff, they given a very great exposure to the developers to try around. different kind of stuff they wanted to do. And decentralization become a theme because of the centralized monopoly or the controls of few cognomens in this industry, technology as a space over there. So I read one article about it that never in the human history, like 4 to 5 companies um, are in a control of all the information systems. So whether you talk about it at Google or whether you talk about the Facebook kind of things, so they become in their self kind of nation states. Okay, and at
Yes.
the few of the places they are bigger than the nations. They are challenging the rules of a nation states. So and if you think from the perspective of a freedom and the sovereign individual over there, so controls are just based with the few of the entities over there. And that's why when the distributed system came into the picture, they tried to solve this problem through the distributed way, that no single entity will be in a control uh, for kind of information or for kind of stuff you wanted to do, freedom of expression kind of thing. So a lot of applications tried on the Ethereum kind of thing. Then the decentralized finance world came into the picture. And after that, there were many applications get launched, and for a few of them, the cryptocurrency or tokenomics was very important role played out. And now you can see there are thousands of tokens available in the market.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, basically you said you got involved. Initially, you got involved with traditional financial products like equities, and you got involved with asset management companies, and you got a chance to understand how these big intermediaries work in order to make payments or make the entire banking system work, and how Bitcoin questions it, and how Bitcoin tries to provide solutions around this. Um, okay. So what I want to do is I will let us try to answer some of the basic questions about Bitcoin, and let us try to address some of the basic counter arguments against Bitcoin. So my first question to you is, how do you explain Bitcoin to a complete beginner who has no idea, who has never heard about it? What is Bitcoin?
Okay. Uh, it's a complex thing to explain in a few of the sentence, but just let me put the narrative.
Sure.
So economy is itself a very complex term. Okay. If you try to understand what is money, we are so used to it, it have in our pocket, or the digital numbers we have in our digital wallets kind of thing. But understanding what exactly the money is, uh, if you try to look it from the perspective of a paper and some colors are over there on that paper. Okay, so is that paper and color, if you have the fancy printer with you, you are able to print it at home, but are you able to do it? You can do it, but it lost the legitimacy. Okay, and who gives the legitimacy to that rupee? Okay,
Mhm.
there are central institutions like the central banks kind of thing, or you may say the political setup kind of thing. There might be monarchies, there might be communism, or there might be a democratic government over there, or someone is given the legitimacy to that rupee. Okay, so that's a complex stuff over there. There is another complex stuff at the you may say the horizon over there, that is the technology. We use it a lot. Okay, we send a mail, we do the communication, WhatsApp chats and all that kind of thing, but very few people really understand what the TCP/IP protocol is, which is the underlying of this communication. So at
True.
one side you have very complex stuff in the economical domain, at the another side you have very complex thing in a technological domain over there. And
Okay.
Bitcoin is a product uh, which observes lot of complexities of both these domains over there inside it. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so in that perspective, if you think Bitcoin, so I can call it as a uh, asset. Okay,
Can we
which
say it
have
is
the
a
function.
new form of money, and think about it as a new form of money and try to understand the existing financial system? Can that be the way?
uh, yeah, that also can be one of the good perspective to look at it. I can look at it as a store of value.
Hmm.
Okay, so gold you can call it as a money, but if you wanted to do a 10 rupee transaction, you can do it with the gold, but
Hmm.
is it feasible? So
No.
money have many aspects in it. Okay, so divisibility is one of the aspect of a kind of fiat system over there. Okay, that level of divisibility is not possible with the gold. But
Mhm.
if you take Bitcoin in that perspective, presently it's like the 8-digit divisibility. The last one is known as the Satoshi unit kind of thing. So, but it's a digital. In the future, if the demand increase, you can break that Satoshi into another decimal over there.
Mhm.
So that divisibility is possible with the Bitcoin. So in that way, you can treat it as a money. But the value appreciation is so much, and the fluctuation in the value is so much that you will try to. Many people try to use it as a store of value over there. They think it from the very long perspective as a sound money principle, which is integrated in the Bitcoin itself. That I can use it after 10 years, I can use it after a decade kind of thing. So just if you someone have saved it during 2012 kind of thing, because during 2000 it's launched in 2009. Okay,
Mhm.
but no one is able to do the transaction because no exchanges were available in the market. Okay, there were technological geeks who used to mine it and who used to hold it, and some people were able to buy few of the things with it, like some of the pizza story, very great story, that
Mhm.
pizza are now valued at millions of dollar over there. But someone would have saved it for a decade period of time, so the value appreciation is very high in that terms. So I can treat it as a store of value rather than money. But yes, you can definitely use as a money as one of the aspect of a Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Um, one of the key features of any money is that it should be a limited supply, it should be divisible, and it should be used as a medium of exchange. Certainly gold fulfills all three aspects of this very well, theoretically, but in case of practical use, you may not be able to divide gold into smaller chunks and use that to do your day-to-day transaction, at least in today's world. So that is where Bitcoin fits in very well, and you can divide it into multiple decimals and use it as per your requirement. um my second question is, lot of
And
people who,
about the gold, as the
yeah.
point came into the picture, uh, with gold. So what the many of the institution tried. Okay,
Mhm.
so before the fiat system, which was got accepted and which is very common nowadays after the Bretton Woods agreements over there in 1944. Before
Mhm.
that, there were banks who used to hold the gold. Okay, and if they are having the gold worth of $10,000, so the bank had the authority to print the notes worth of $10,000.
Mhm.
Okay, and there were multiple currencies were circulating in the US.
Mhm.
Okay, banks used to print the money and which were backed by the gold kind of thing. So underlying were gold, and they were not printed by the central authority. They were printed by the hundreds of banks which used
Mhm.
to have the gold with them, and they used to print the similar amount of money. But the problem with that was, so how you can verify that the bank have the gold worth of $10,000? So bank might have just gold worth of $1,000 and they're printing the notes worth of $10,000.
Mhm.
So trusting and the auditability was the issue. And if you go to the Bitcoin, any point of time, you can check it out that how many Bitcoins are mined over there, where they are located. So auditability become very easy. And
Yeah.
it's not the not with the gold, not only with the gold, okay, but many the South Asian crisis was there. At that point of time, the government used to say that they have this much of gold, but when the IMF did the audit over there, that gold was never there. That much value gold was never there.
Mhm.
So you need to trust someone if you wanted to build something on the top of the gold.
Mhm.
And that's a very big issue, kind of thing, in the sense of transparency kind of thing, because you just need to rely on the some government auditors over there. And if you check it out, many of the uh, stock exchange companies who got failed over there over a period of time, the auditors were like up to the last day, the auditor reports were that everything is fine, but the
Yeah.
companies got busted, and then it came to know the audit was not proper.
Yeah.
And it's a regular phenomenon that you trust someone and you try to build something on top of that. So
Yeah.
that's one of the core issue with the gold kind of thing.
Yes, yes. I understand that auditing of these central banks or any bank which claims to have this much amount of gold reserves and then they are printing money as against those gold was the system that we were using, and that system has failed from time to time because of the central control that it has and other things. Um, One of the other thing that I want to mention here is that gold, US dollar, which is the reserve currency of the world today, used to be backed by gold. I mean, as you said, they can only print uh, up to an extent that they hold gold reserves. But back in, I think, 73 or 74, Nixon government removed US dollar from gold standard. And since that time, we do not have anything backing gold. So they can,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. It was like a fascinating kind of thing. So initially, the governments were the fiat currency which government prints. Initially, it was backed by gold. Okay.
Mhm.
After World War II, it was get backed by the, so currencies were backed by the gold. Then US government said, okay, let's do one thing. Let's your currency backed by the US dollar, and the
Mhm.
US dollar will be get backed by the gold. And after that, what happened? Your currency is backed by the US dollar, and US dollar is not backed by anything.
Yes.
So they can print any amount of money out of thin air. So just like the last couple of days, $6 trillion got printed. So
Yes.
nowadays, so no currency is backed by anything. So
Mhm.
from gold to the US dollar to nothing.
Yeah.
So that was the journey the fiat currency did, and all the inflation and kind of stuff just followed up. So nowadays everyone become gambler to just save their assets.
Yeah.
Either you need, if you save it in the kind of your home over there, due to the inflation the value will be get lost. If you save it at bank account, you can barely able to beat the inflation over there. Then you have to become a gambler, in the sense
Mhm.
how what kind of gambler you are. If you are going for the fixed income securities, it will be the less returns. Okay, but fixed income securities can also fail. We have seen with the Kingfisher what happened with the Kingfisher bonds in India.
Yes.
Okay, if you go to the take the higher risk, there will be equities over there. Then again you are going to the risk kind of zone. So everyone either have to play some kind of speculative they have someone,
In
everyone
order to
have to
protect
invest
their
in
assets, they have to get into
some
one
kind
of
of
these.
speculative assets, and only then they will be able to save the value.
Mhm.
So in that sense, everyone becomes speculator due to the fiat money, one way or other.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so this fits in very nicely with the second question that I was going to ask. That a lot of people, I mean, the people who are starting to learn about Bitcoin and trying to wrap their head around what exactly it is that they say, what is the intrinsic value that Bitcoin provides? They say it is all about the speculation, it is all about the price movements, but they fail to understand what is the intrinsic value that Bitcoin provides. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so for the monetary assets, for any monetary asset, okay, the intrinsic value is trust.
Okay.
Okay, so if you talk about the currency of any government in the world, so what is the intrinsic value of that currency? The trust in their central banking system, and
True.
the trust in their political design. Okay, socio-political design. So if
Yes.
there is a turbulence in any of the country tomorrow, okay, so what will happen? Due to political turbulence, okay, there can be civil war, or there that probability will lead to the losing the faith in the currency, underlying currency,
Mm-hmm.
or might be due to the hyperinflation in the case of Venezuela. Okay, what is happening over there? They are not trusting their own currency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they are there is a concept of dollarization. They moved to the dollar, and nowadays they had moved to the Bitcoin kind of stuff over there. So the intrinsic value is the trust. So the trust is got shifted. Okay, and when the trust is got shifted, the asset in which the trust is get shifted over there, that trust is nothing but the intrinsic value of that underlying asset.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here, in that sense, the underlying asset, if you talk as a Bitcoin, it's a peer-to-peer trust. No one is forcing, no central authorities are forcing you to trust it and value it. the network effect and the individuals are trusting it and giving it a value. Okay, and that can generate to the limitations of a price fluctuation. So yes, it is definitely there, because it's an evolving kind of asset. The market cap is still kind of thing, the market of a cap of a gold is like 10 trillion, and compared to the
Yes.
bitcoin it's near around 1 trillion. So once
Yes.
the assets become, one theory says, the once the value of assets appreciated in kind of sense that a, in a very large scale kind of thing, we can call it a silver cap of a 5 trillion to the gold cap of a 10 trillion kind of zone. At that point of time, the fluctuation will be near around the currency fluctuation, which is maximum like the 1% to 8% kind of thing in a day. I'm saying maximum 8% is too much, but depending on the volatility or the news in the market about the given currency. But if you can take as a 1 or 2% kind of thing, so that fluctuation might be there in a near future, like within decade or so, in the Bitcoin, if it become a global monetary asset kind of thing. So the intrinsic value is nothing but the trust in monetary system, if you talk about.
Okay, so you are saying basically that in any monetary system, trust is the intrinsic value driver. Yeah, I mean
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense. And instead of putting that trust into a central authority, like we have been doing it for a couple of decades or even a century now, that has been shifted from central authorities to a decentralized system where individuals are saying that we want to trust this particular network, which promises us to provide a better financial system. Uh, and really interesting to know that one of the points that you made is that another decade or so, or probably when Bitcoin crosses the market cap of silver or gets closer to the market cap of gold as a whole, the volatility will come down drastically. And that time probably people will be able to see that it is not that volatile. Today it is that volatile because it is not big enough, or not enough people are using it. That's why the volatility is there, but it will come down eventually.
Yeah, and what happens is, see, uh, it's a very loosely regulated market. Okay,
Yes.
and it's a global market. Okay, so when the market is so big, okay, and it's so loosely volatile, there are bad actors in the market who try to manipulate the actor, manipulate the underlying asset. So this happened with the many of the nascent cryptocurrencies. Within a day, they just boom up to 100% or 200% or 400% kind of thing, and
Mhm.
within a week they just crash to the zero or something. Okay, because people are able to manipulate it with very limited money, with few millions of $1 million. They do the circular trading and all that, and they can manipulate it out. With if you wanted to do that with the Bitcoin, okay, you need to have very good asset with you. Okay, like a billions of dollar at least. Okay, and when it's go to the trillions of dollar market cap kind of thing, so imagine how much money you will require to do all these kind of stuffs over there. So it become increasingly difficult. It's when it's become so valuable asset class over there. And at that point of time, due to the network effect or due to the limitations in the kind of ring zoning the asset over there, which will be drastically get reduced, and that can be beneficial to the whole ecosystem as a whole kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so we have established what is Bitcoin, and we have established what is the intrinsic value that a Bitcoin network or any monetary system for that matter provides, which is trust. Now, Bitcoin is, people say Bitcoin is equivalent to digital gold, and it is the technology which created these blockchain networks. But there are multiple other blockchain networks apart from Bitcoin, and there are multiple or thousands of cryptocurrencies apart from Bitcoin. So, why there are these thousands of cryptocurrencies, and how one should think about these?
Okay, so when the Bitcoin itself, when Bitcoin was established over there, so very important feature it have is the source code is open.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not licensed, it's not the white label kind of thing. The source code is open. Tomorrow if you wanted to just copy the source code and wanted to create another cryptocurrency, you can easily do that. So it's very easy to create, first of all.
Mhm.
uh, and the advantage Bitcoin have given is the open source community kind of thing. So again, there are actors who wanted to do something on the network over there. So Bitcoin was followed by the Bitcoin Gold, ABC kind of thing, Bitcoin Cash, blah blah kind of thing. And in a very early communication of itself, one of the those people who were in the white list, or you miss the mail list of Satoshi Nakamoto, who was uh, credited to be the one of the founding member of the Bitcoin kind of thing. In that mail list itself, one of the prominent member was the Hal Finney, and few of the people credited him as a Satoshi itself. So kind of thing. So he wrote a very good piece of during 2009 2010 kind of thing. So he said, okay, because the source code is open, just expect that there will hundreds of cryptocurrencies, because source code just need to be copy pasted. Okay. So and he named them many of the coins over there, the bull coin, bear coin, shit coin kind of thing. So because the source code is open, anyone can able to create it. So there is no wonder that you can see hundreds of cryptocurrencies available in the market, kind of thing. Okay. The important thing is, what is the use case? What are you, if you are using it, for what purpose you are using it? Okay. And if have means some cryptocurrencies are solving that purpose, which the legacy system are not able to solve. Okay. No one can stop someone to use that. So it's as simple as it is. If there is an use, if there is a market and you find the use fruitful, you can use it. There is another dynamics to it about the price appreciation. So some people think that they are just left behind because of the Bitcoin, and they think that the same journey can be followed using the another coin kind of thing. So they are free to do that. No one can stop anyone in this market. Again, this is not the financial advice, but this is just the educational stuff. So it's very easy to create, and it's very easy to manipulate kind of thing because of unregulated market. So yeah, it can be there. We can see many cryptocurrencies will be there. One just need to figure out the use case and why really they wanted to use it, and what is the feature which the legacy financial system not providing them, and they wanted to do with the decentralized system. And if they found that the value they are paying for it is just worth of, they can easily able to do it.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin provides certain use case to our financial infrastructure, and then since it is an open, decentralized system, anybody can think of their own solution to an existing problem, and they can create their own coin or build their own blockchain network. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. We could only cover a few basic topics, but that was the objective. I will hopefully have Bhushan once again on the show to discuss regulations and to discuss how one can build their career in this space. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you like it, make sure you share it with your friends, and please consider subscribing to the channel. We are at the beginning of decentralized internet future. Thus, it is important that we spend time to continuously learn about it and participate to gain value. Blockchain will revolutionize the way we live our lives, just like internet did over the past couple of decades, but hopefully better. Thank you once again, and I will see you in the next episode.